Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. And today in the Bible Bistro, we're looking at Psalm 145, verses 3 and 4. Now, I said yesterday that we're in the section called the choir room. This is the choir practice. So you got to get your robes on. Let's go in there and find a spot, get all warmed up, do our little scales, and we're going to sing some hymns and some praises to the Lord. And we started yesterday by extolling and blessing and praising the Lord. Today we look at some of the same words again, praise twice and declare. So we were speaking yesterday, or blessing yesterday and extolling. Today we're going to declare His greatness. So it's going to be part of our choir practice today. So let me read for you here beginning in verses 3 and 4. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised, and His greatness is unsearchable. One generation shall praise thy works to another, and shall declare thy mighty acts. Now that's verses 3 and 4. You'll notice that we have some more of these words. Like I mentioned, we have praised, praise, and declare. And what are we doing? We are praising and declaring His greatness, His works, and His mighty acts. And it's not just us now. You notice that in verses 1 and 2, it was I will. I will extol, I will bless, I will bless, I will praise. Now in verses 3 and 4, it is one generation shall praise thy works to another and shall declare all thy mighty acts. And shall declare thy mighty acts. I always want to put all in there. So this is not now the psalmist saying this, that he's going to do this every day. No, this is now the next generation. One generation shall praise thy works to another. And so we see that happening, don't we? As one generation comes and experiences the goodness of the Lord, and then they pass on that knowledge to the next generation that comes, and they experience the goodness of the Lord, and they pass that knowledge on to the next generation. And so we have this constant movement of the sea of peoples coming through the great kingdom of Christ as they believe in Him, trust, and teach their children, and spread the gospel message, and declare and speak the great praises of the King and His mighty acts. And one of those mighty acts, well, you can look at the history of Israel all the way back to the captivity in Egypt, all the way back to the covenant with Abraham, all the way back to the covenant with Noah, go all the way back into the garden. I mean, you can talk about His mighty acts from the garden all the way up to the cross, and since the cross, all that the Spirit of God has done with the church. So there's a lot to declare when it comes to His mighty acts and His works. And one generation is telling that to the next. They're praising thy works to another. So we have this beautiful description here of really what this praise is all about, what this choir practice is all about. But there's another thing here that I want to get to, and that is there in verse 3, we have this first truth statement. Now we have several here in this psalm. We have 3 actually in these first 10 verses, but with the first one comes right here in verse 3. Great is the Lord. Notice that is. Great is the Lord. This is a truth statement. The Lord is something. What is He? He is great, and He is greatly to be praised. So His greatness is worthy of praise. Notice the next thing. His greatness is unsearchable. So even though it's unsearchable, it's still worthy to be praised. Yes, all the goodness and greatness of God is not knowable. It's unsearchable. Some of it we can know, but the mystery still remains that His greatness is so vast, so deep, so powerful, so wonderful that we can never really know it all. Okay, I hope that you will join me again tomorrow, and we're going to look at verses 5 and 6 here on Daily Dose Radio.